Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Scarred Thumb Podcast. It's David. I'm back. And today, we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime 4. A game that, honestly, it feels like in November, no one was talking about. It's like, what is going on with this game? When is it even coming out? Or maybe it's like closer to October. I was thinking to myself, when is this game even going to be out? Like, I haven't heard anything about it. There's been some sparse trailers. To all of a sudden, right before, and this might, I don't know if it's to its benefit. It might even be to its benefit. We had the reveal of these NPCs and this writing that had a huge polarizing effect on the community. And I think even journalists rightly pointed out, like, this doesn't really feel like it fits in the tradition of what Metroid is, or, what Metroid's always been. What's really good about the sort of Metroid franchise, that feeling, it's because it's always been a game that's heavy into atmosphere, these beautiful, kind of creepy worlds, these like hostile alien, it's kind of like nature itself, where it can be dangerous, but it's also incredibly beautiful. And you're sort of alone on this world, fighting these aliens, trying to like eliminate Metroids or kill pirates, or whatever. It's always been a very like game that's isolation's always kind of been part of the franchise. You're on your own. You're a one woman army, I guess, in this case, taking on the sort of dangers of these planets. And some of this stuff, well, let's get to this first clip, and you can kind of see, like, does this really fit? Does this just seem kind of awkward? I'll let you decide. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Stim Beer. Metroid Morning. The devs forgot that Samus was silent, so you could pay maximum attention to your environment, it seems. I mean, the fact that this is the other thing that really gets me about all this dialogue is that Samus has always been a silent protagonist, and like same thing with like Link. And it's just they just can't help themselves. It's like there's just so much. It's just vanity. I don't know if it's vanity or hubris. They have to throw in a bunch of writing. They can't. You just can't like have the silent protagonist as an avatar for the player, and they sort of like get into it. Exactly. So you pay attention to the environment. You kind of like get immersed in this world as you're the person there. It's not like, hey, Samus. There are constantly people talking to Samus. They can't have it. They need to have some sort of story there. It just can't be the character as the player. You have to have something surrounding it.
Sarge!
Armstrong, you all right?
I'm good. You?
Yes.
While I was waiting, I was studying this hologram. Wow. Samus? It's really you. I don't even know what to say. Is this a new suit?
Is it a new suit?
It's amazing. I love it. I love it so
Private.
much. Yes, sir.
Lay Funny. It's Lay Funny. She's freaking out because she's a super fan of Samus. It's like, oh my god, Samus, you're so cool. With doing like some little
It's
autistic like
really you.
hand motions and stuff. It's like, yeah, just who wants this? We need to have some like lighthearted, fun characters as well. I guess her and Mackenzie.
I don't even know what to say. Is this?
And this guy points out, oh my god, it's Samus, is what Andy Robinson here. You can't read the whole thing.
Is this a new suit? It's amazing.
I love it so much. It's just weird. Like, why? What does this character add to the story?
I love it.
Is what I'm wondering. Like, what does she add to the atmosphere
I love it so
Private.
much.
of this game? Like, was she supposed to be like stand-in for Metroid fans? Like, what is this character? So I don't run the mining in it. It never interferes with the missions or explorations, but kind of did it okay. But there's still a few NPCs it forced you to pay attention to. Man, and I was saying like this about Breath of the Wild, or Zelda in general. It's more with Zelda. It's more about kind of saving the kingdom. Like I said, the general like theme of Zelda is man and woman coming together to save the kingdom. Save the earth. You like repel evil and sort of like renew the world. It's like a general theme of Zelda. So having people in the kingdom, or like making the kingdom sort of feel alive, kind of adds to the sort of stakes of what Link and Zelda have to do. So I don't necessarily mind having NPCs in that, fleshing out the world, because it's always been about you have these villages, and then you have this sort of like impending darkness that's behind all of it. The world's not what it seems. You even had in like Link to the Past, where people are going missing. You're not sure what's going on, and then you kind of go to the dark world and kind of see the sort of plot that's going on with Agam and Ganon to try and break the seal on the darkness. So that I think it fits a lot better. I mean, you can make the argument too that dialogue adds, it doesn't really add to the gameplay, but at least in that case, I can be like, all right, I could kind of see why you'd have introduce characters like that. But with Metroid, I just don't see it as much. And then it's just so every time I see this clip, it makes me think more Halo 1 than Metroid. And then it's very Halo. Lots of former 343 devs on this too, which a lot of people, it just doesn't fill me with hope. 343, I don't know if they really did a great job with Halo. It seems like the more and more the franchise went, again, Master Chief's the silent protagonist. And they kind of had Cortana there to kind of like provide exposition, but more and more they're like, oh, how do we make the like female writers, like how do we make Master Chief more of a person, a real person, rather than this like super soldier, like silent stoic super soldier that just wastes things, which guys want to play as. We got to make him a real person. We got to flesh him out. And then you have like the Halo, even see with that sort of like Halo whatever, like TV show where they have to take off the helmet. Like, why? That just shows a difference between like movies and video games. The silent protagonist is a unique character to video games. I mean, there might be silent protagonists in movies and books, I'm not sure, but it works uniquely well with video games because the player is controlling the character. He's like assuming that role. So having him not sort of interject personality lets you sort of put yourself onto it, and your actions kind of shaping who the character is. It works well. And it just nowadays where everything needs to be a movie or, has to have a writing team and mocap and all that stuff, it just seems like it's going away. It's just completely disappearing as games want to become more movies. And people got so mad. People got very upset because people obviously saw this and thought, wow, this looks stupid. Hate for this scene is the most forced bullshit of all time. The hate for Prime 4 in general is forced. Shut the F up. Half of you haven't even, or will never touch these games. I'm so effing over it, man. Very angry reactions as people, I think this person even knows that's why they're so upset that this looks kind of stupid. And they hate the fact that people are ducking on it. This honestly was probably the stupidest excuse for this ever. The gaming dude wins this round. One of my best friends is a soldier, and I'm pretty sure he has emotions. So this Super CC, or I think it's pronounced CC or Susu, pronounced so whatever. I'm not sure why a soldier will act like this way. So kind of like saying like, why aren't they being a little more serious at this point? Like, why do they got to throw in this like lighthearted humor section? But the gaming dude explains, well, his best friend's a soldier, and I'm pretty sure he has emotions. Wow, that really explains it. It's really, really a great defense. My best friend is a soldier, and yeah, he would be a soldier. Oh, and this just the gaslighting, the defense of this stuff, and just the general like community. It's amazing just how the shilling is just off the charts, and it's just so shameless.
You follow for more video games.
Oh wait, here we go.
Samus?
This is brain rot. Not the scene itself, but how everyone decided to make this the villain for the week. There's something called frequency illusion, where something gets your attention and then you start noticing it more. You get a new pair of shoes, and then all of a sudden you see other people with those shoes. Like you start playing Punch Buggy, and then you start noticing more buggies in the world. Or the biggest, most recent example, 67. 67 or 67 isn't a brand new number. It's not all of a sudden being used dramatically more outside of the fact that it's used for a meme. It's just that we noticed it and now we see it more. This happens all the time with all sorts of things. Politics, clothes, cars, gaming mechanics, and
crime statistics,
trends. Again, that doesn't mean that it's actually happening more frequently. It doesn't mean that there's any type of conspiracy or deeper meaning or anything at all. Simply your experience. Now that experience can be contagious. And you guys, being the humans that you are, you
I guess this guy isn't human.
want to apply a deeper meaning to something. And people know that, and they capitalize off that. That's where you get these crazy conspiracy theories, these
Conspiracy. This guy's a minute in, and he hasn't explained anything.
deeper meanings, these crazy lore. Now you start viewing the entire world through that
Yeah, some demographics shouldn't talk about that stuff.
lens. That's
They don't want to get into that conversation.
brain rot. And that type of shit is what's happening with these scenes. This is a regular scene.
It's a regular scene, guys. You're just being manipulated into thinking that it's dumb.
Same thing with that one adventure scene. You know, the one with the girls.
All the girls. I mean, that stupid one where it's like they all pose, and it's so obviously forced to be like a moment for women in a Marvel universe. Yeah, it was stupid.
It's a Marvel movie. You know how many of those stupid hero poses are in those movies?
Even calls
but
it
just
stupid.
because you noticed something,
You notice that had to force this stuff into it.
heard some conspiracy on the internet and confirmation bias kicked in, so now you believe it, doesn't mean it's actually happening. But since you have some sort of brain rot going, you can't really take in the medium from a regular.
Your brain's just rotting if you think, guys. Your brain's just rotting if you think that scene's dumb and this character is kind of annoying. It's just what's wrong with you?
In fact, if this was some anime girl in a Japanese game, you would be all over it.
Yeah, if it was a totally different, you notice they can't hide their spite even in this 2-minute clip. If it's an anime girl in an anime game in a completely different scenario, having an anime girl, I guess, freak out about another anime girl, you would find it okay. Which I guess, was that supposed to be an argument? Like if this was a totally different game, in a totally different scene, yeah, I might find it funny or acceptable. I don't know.
When you're out there in the world, especially on the internet, you should be very weary of frequency illusion because it is way too easy to manipulate you humans' brains. Make sure you follow for more
humans' brains. Again, I guess this guy isn't human.
video game discussion.
Video game, just what discussion? My God. Of course, he's also another content creator. Creator, host of Checkpoint, the show. Oh, wow. Again, just another show. Like, hey, he's trying to get early access or something. Who knows? Like, make sure, like, hey, I got to make sure these PR people for these companies see that I am going out there. I'm defending this. It has not scored well on Metacritic. Prime 4, the first 66 critical reviews lodged. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has a Metascore of 80, which is the lowest it's ever been. Prime 4 Beyond is uneven, messy in some respects, but at its best, it meets and exceeds the best moments the series has to offer. By Steve Watts from GameStop here. So, not a good score. Honestly, this is like a mid score for a game. Like mid isn't for like acceptable. Like 60 would be terrible. That's how these things always work. But the fact, and it is worth pointing out, I think it's around the same as Other M. We're pointing out that this thing was in development hell for a long time. It has been in development for a long, long time, and it's almost never good when something like that happens, where it switches studios and then. So it's always just been a mess. Like they had a lot of things to overcome to get it out. It is worth saying that, but I mean, it doesn't excuse the quality and the direction, but it definitely is. And this is sort of the comparison to the other Prime games here. Prime getting a 97, 92, 90. So it's been going downhill, but I mean, this last one, a huge leap. And then look at this, 2007. That's when it came out. So over almost 20 years, 18 years since the last Prime game. It's crazy. So, I mean, like, the same people probably aren't even around. They're not even making the game. You know, that team in 2002, long gone. And it's no surprise that it's not true to the sort of roots of the other Prime games, or even seems like Metroid in general. But it did have a lot of stuff going against it, to be nice. And then this guy has been shilling it pretty hard. He does developer interviews, so you have to be nice, as nice as possible to video games. But I think he makes a solid point here. I wanted to fully digest everything. I commented on this. Obviously, I'm in a bit of a unique position compared to most because of my connection to retro studios, past and present. They didn't really offer any insights in that. Seeing this score close to Other M is soul crushing. Giving the rest of the franchise is 90 plus on Metacritic. After analyzing everything, I think the reason Nintendo Retro went down this road is because of one thing, and one thing only: sales, which is probably true. Metroid Prime's biggest problem is it's always been sales. Outside of Dread, Prime 1 doesn't count. And I think Dread being 2D hopefully could lower some of the production costs, and still, like, it sold 3 million, which is good. It's good, but it's not like, if you compare it to like Breath of the Wild or Pokemon or probably even Mario, not amazing, but pretty decent. The game has sold at the same amount for 20 plus years, which is no longer feasible in this day and age where budgets are bloated as they are, and the blank NPC troopers were a way of broadening the audience for viewers have common. And this might be true. I've seen people kind of one review I watched. The reviewer has like a theory that since Breath of the Wild sold so well, they wanted to make Prime. They wanted to add in Breath of the Wild with stuff like the shrines, which you also see in Bonanza, and you do see more of like the talking in Bonanza as well. Bonanza ended up doing pretty well. I think it was pretty well accepted. It's it has a fun gameplay and a pretty good presentation, but you do see this sort of modernization where it's like a 3D open world type of game. I just don't think it probably works. Or a lot of people mentioning the desert here, that it was like too far along, and that they just couldn't figure out a way to sort of make it happen. It just didn't work. The NBC were a way of broadening the audience. Reviewers have commented on the hand-holdiness, and if you've ever watched or played a Metroid game for the first time, you could see why they did this. Even Maximilian, due to seeing a gamer, watching him play through Prime 1 was painful to watch, as he played it wrong. But what does playing it wrong mean? If Metroid sold 5+ million every entry, I doubt they would have resorted to this. They would have made it more like Breath of the Wild, where there is a more invisible hand guiding you. I mean, that's a lot of that stuff is just good game design, where you, instead of like yellow paint, you just have it set up to where the game sort of naturally flows. Like as you explore, you'll see, sort of stuff. It kind of guides you in the right direction between like power ups or stuff to get. There's a lot of like different ways developers can do that. Sort of make sure you can find the right way to go. As I mentioned before, if any other company had the Metroid IP, this franchise would have been dead a long time ago. This is a $100 million budgeted game. It's clearly evident from the credits, which includes Retro and heaps of other studios similar to remasters. I mean, it is expensive, and it has been in development for a long, long time. I get the game tomorrow, so they'll give his final thoughts, but I think he's probably right. And there was another response to this that I could see. This one I'm not getting. Dread sold better, the franchise. I mean, this game had already been, Prime had already been in development probably for like 10 plus years by the time Dread came out. Prime and hype behind it carried over from Dread. It's been common luckily that millennium writing and hand-holding are extremely annoying practices nowadays. And I think, again, this stuff shifts over the last few years. Probably when a lot of these decisions were being made, who knows? Like, who knows at what point that was being done? So it might just be like, we can't change it now. They should have been aware of this from the get-go, unless Retro really is insulated from what's happening. All they do is make a large, expansive, intricate map without an empty open world, showcase cool enemies, hyper atmospheric. I mean, it does sound good, and if they really had vision from the start of like what Prime and Metroid should do, I think that would have happened. But I think there was probably just either something from Nintendo or something in retro, like, hey, we need this to sell. Look how good these open world games are doing right now. Of course, by the time they actually get it out, that trend is already gone. Like, I guess, maybe similar in some ways to Concord, where, Concord hero shooters were the biggest thing, but, you take 10 years to make a game, and then all of a sudden, the industry has moved on, and no one wants to play hero shooters anymore. It's like a hero shooter in this day and age, and of course, shitty character design, and the biggest flop in history, basically. Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. It is maybe a trend, but some of these design choices are insane. Let me get this straight. This is one of the things. People do not like the desert because it ends up being a very, very open. Traversing it seems like a chore, almost like some of the worst. Padding has always become a thing in these AAA games right now, and this is just such a blatant example of it. One of the things is, like, I generally think the desert would have been at least 3 times better if they had put some banging music behind it, but it feels so vapid. So they didn't really put any music in it. But if you get an amiibo, so let me get this straight. If you pay $30 for the collectible Samus amiibo in Prime 4, you get to play select music while driving the Viola bike in an otherwise quiet desert. In other words, they lacked music while riding through the desert behind a $30 paywall. I'm missing something that makes this not insane. No, you don't. That does seem absolutely insane. And I think music would make it a lot better. You'd at least have like something. Was this like a general design choice? Like, we'll make it quiet because you're supposed to feel like you're in the middle of nowhere or something. I don't know. But the idea, like, I guess it's not much of a design choice since you can just pay $30 to add it. Like, what in the world's going on? And the desert has been, like, almost every reviewer said, it's been the most annoying part of it. But don't worry, the fans are here to defend it. Fake reports, news, fake reports have been claiming you can only change Metroid Prime desert-driven music if you own Samus Amiibo. It's completely false, guys. It's been debunked. The jukebox feature is part of New Game Plus. The Amiibo just gives you early access to it. What are these? Again, another. These people are insane. Every one of these Metroid scare quotes fans coming and making everyone realize they've never touched the game series in their life. Then showing like, hey, this is a cute common thing, guys. Dread unlocks new artwork. Samus Returns unlocks Chozo memories. Prime Chili unlocks concept art gallery and bonuses. This has always been a thing, guys. Did you realize that? No. Just the coping is amazing. The mental gymnastics to get excuses they'll make for this stuff is absolutely insane. This is obviously dumb. Like, I don't want a jukebox feature. I think that, I guess on a bike maybe it makes sense. Just add some music to the freaking desert. Give it its own soundtrack. I don't know. Like, do something. It's just weird. That, and then them coming out, yeah, jukebox features New Game Plus. Totally debunked that this feature is behind a $30 amiibo. You just had to play through it again. Play through a game that you may not enjoy and do it again. That's all right, guys. And then this other guy defending. People have really been out here trying to convince you that Soul Valley and the Viola Bike are bad, empty, boring, and unfun. But he's here to prove you wrong. Lies and malarkey. Propaganda has no power when the truth is out to be seen and experienced. This shit rocks, man. So I guess judge for yourself. Does this rock to you? Are you being blown away? The good old days, yeah, when music was part of the game. Oh, some birds. You can chase down and lock onto some birds. Turn around and go back. I mean, you're jumping up on a thing. You're shooting these things that don't fight back, I guess. What was that supposed to do? I don't know. And there's, I guess, a beacon. Can you scan that, I guess? I mean, what is he trying to prove here? Like, is there something like super interesting about this? Like, empty spot, and here's a point of interest. Some birds show up that don't attack you in any way. You can, I guess, ride with and then shoot them. I mean, maybe they attack you. If they do, I haven't seen it. And then you can just sort of tool around in an empty sandbox. Okay. They really proved the haters wrong here. Like, could he not find something better to prove his point? Like, what's interesting about this? I mean, I saw another clip where someone was at least fighting something. This is I love this video. Here's a guy proving, holy shit, the game's even better on the second playthrough. Uh-oh. He's falling asleep. The fact that he's not paying attention kind of shows you what modern... This is like modern games to a T. No, not even looking at the screen. No need for it. Oh, there's some birds. Are they going to do something to you? Oh, I guess not. Because he's just holding down the button. Oh, he locked on and shot him while he wasn't even looking at the screen.
Okay, did we make it?
Made it to the other side. I mean, that only took him what? How long is this video? Oh, it only took him a minute. A minute of it's a minute of doing nothing but holding the button. That's pretty cool. This is what people are kind of complaining about with the desert. I mean, just like a minute of riding through Mackenzie, kind of break. Maybe that's why they added Mackenzie in here, to sort of break up the monotony. Like, hey, you teleporter keys? You found any of those guys? Just crazy. And then, oh god, this more on the dialogue. This Armstrong, nice lasso. Sarge, look, she's doing the morph ball. Like, holy smokes. It's like the worst thing. I'm surprised at some point in the desert they don't say, whoa, nice Akira slide, Samus. She's doing the... How does she even know what the hell the upgrade's called? The morph ball? It's just so self-insert, like fourth wall bullshit. So... I hate this writing. I hate it so much. God, I hate these people. This led... George Alexanopoulos is a right-wing artist, does comic strips, so I think a lot of the hate from his this post comes from the fact that he's like sort of a ideological enemy to a lot of these people. But here's him saying, I didn't realize a writer from Forspoken could still find work. There should be no talking in Metroid, none. Aside from perhaps a simple intro like Super Metroid. These games are about isolation, feeling alone in alien worlds where inhabitants are long gone, and the only life forms left are either hostile or indifferent to your present. Which, I mean, is fairly... I don't know if I agree with that should be no talking. There should be as little as possible, as little dialogue as humanly possible, like, needed to convey what's going on. Like, sometimes, ideally, you just explain everything through the world and, like, the backgrounds and that other storytelling elements. is what I'd prefer, because I think they're far more elegant and far more. They just fit in with the game, like the action. Like when you see like like in Dread, there's like one part where you see this sort of monster you're eventually going to fight, sort of creeping through the background, and it's like, oh, something's about to happen. But you're still playing the game. You're still fully immersed in the game. It's not cutting you away from the action. I think that's really the best way to do it. But I mean, sometimes you just need exposition to explain, like the beginning of Fusion, where it's like, here's what happened, here's why Samus lost their suit, whatever. I mean, you could just get it done. If you can get it done efficiently, quickly, by just having a little bit of exposition, then cool. Just don't take me away from actually playing. Is the thing. Just for a little context, is nice, and the rest of the environment can be environmental storytelling. Like, boom, done. And then this gotta let people. Oh, you're a fake fan if you don't want talking in Metroid. Putting out like Fusion, which like in Fusion, you can't remember any of the dialogue. No one liked Adam when he came out, because it's like, oh, I gotta see some text and stuff. Like the fact that you have SAX, when you think of Fusion, everyone thinks of the scene where like SAX turns and like as Samus and doesn't have eyes, because that's like really scary. Like you think about like SAX, like footsteps, the sound design, the actual stuff that's in game, or it's like far more impactful in terms of like how you feel than any of the dialogue in the game. Like the dialogue in Fusion's just like set up like, is Adam, like they're trying to set up something like, can you trust Adam? Is, the Federation really against you? Like, who knows? Like some sort of trying to set up some sort of intrigue, but no one remembers it. No one. Can you remember any dialogue from Prime 2 Echoes or Prime 3 Corruption? I don't remember any of the dialogue from Metroid Dread. I played it only a few years ago. I don't care. Like I remember the boss fights far more than any dialogue in Dread. It just doesn't have an impact. Why do you need it? And then there's always this appeal like, well, you're a fake fan if you don't what? At no point do they ever like make an argument that the dialogue's good or the dialogue adds to anything. It's just like, it was there before, therefore if you don't like it, you're not a real fan. And then this guy just Metroid Freak 21 completely copying it. Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself, is what he's trying to say. Like, absolutely not an argument, not a counter. It's just like, hey, these other games did it, so therefore it must be good. And we got into this. I actually got into this. Nintendo Wire, 5 hours into Prime 4 so far, and I can tell you that Miles' hate is way overblown. If you're afraid of the Prime series, you're going to have a good time. Which doesn't mean anything. I'm sure I'm going to play it and I'm going to have a good time because it's a complimentary made game. It's just like, is it up to the quality you'd expect from a Nintendo game or even a Metroid Prime game? Probably not. I'm getting mad at seeing so much of this like bullshit hype. What if we don't have a financial incentive to like it? He's responding to me, trust me, I'll be the first person to complain if I hated it. I feel like people forget just how much voice dialogue was present in Metroid Prime 3. And I respond that perhaps we should ask why no one remembers the voice dialogue in Prime 3. Like, why not? Why don't they remember that? Why it had so much voice dialogue? Was it because it was irrelevant and a waste of time? Why doesn't it stick out? Like, why is like the only voice dialogue I remembered the start of Super Metroid, where it just had that at the beginning, where it's like the last Metroid's in captivity, the galaxy is at peace. It's just two sentences, and it's like far more iconic than any other dialogue in any Metroid game. And even FPS aesthetics here going as skill up, like one of the biggest shill accounts for video games. I do not recommend Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So man, even skill up, even some of the biggest shills are kind of like, ooh, this game isn't super great, which is sad to see. And the coping has been real. I'm about to go dark on this app. I really wish people would stop giving a rat's ass about review scores and just play or buy the damn game. Review scores don't matter. Stop buying into the lie. Like, I agree that they don't matter, but I think you need to make an argument that they're wrong, or like, this is why you should play it. Not like, they're just wrong, just ignoring. They're incredibly immature and just as worth as a top 10 list. Again, Metroid Prime database. The #1 site for Metroid information. It's just fanboys at this point. They assigned arbitrary numbers of subjective opinion that was formed by other subjective opinions that were likely influenced by someone else's subject. See the problem here? See the problem where people have their own opinions and then they share it with other people? And yeah, as opposed to what? Where do you get the objective opinion, the objective correct opinion? You should just spend $70 to really just see for yourself whether you like it or not, because money is infinite, I guess. And your money and time is infinite, so why not just play it and judge for yourself, huh? Why not? Why rely on other people's opinions for it? This guy again, it's another just hating, because I mean, rock solid, genuinely embarrassing, responding to probably another thing. Just say you're broke. It's easier. Showing off a Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I guess this is a argument against whatever this reverend was saying. My intuition about form is completely correct. The open world ruins another game. It doesn't belong. You have to be literally totally mindless to defend it. No, I haven't played it. I don't need to know. I didn't need to know it would be shit. It's called discernment. Not everyone has it. People just getting mad. There's just been lots of polarization around this stuff, but just the defense of it just seems crazy. Proves that Metroid Retro is still the best in the industry. Graphics, visual presentation, atmosphere, music score, beautiful, stunning. What they created on Switch, no one does it better. I mean, at least this guy is presenting some evidence, I guess, to prove his point. Got stuff dripping on the screen, which has always been like a Prime thing, very Prime thing to do, like environmental effects on your visor. Very atmospheric, pretty cool. And then showing off stuff walking on the thing. Pretty music. There's not an ounce of gameplay in this, but looks cool. There's lightning effects. Doesn't mention gameplay at all. Does not mention it at all. I mean, so stuff looks cool. I mean, it always was going to look cool. Like, the problem is like what you do in between looking at the cool graphics. This is an opening sequence. What are you trying to prove with that? Okay.
I wasn't sure we were gonna make it.
I don't care what people say. This dude's funny.
I can see the door, Samus.
It's just people just don't have any taste. It's like, this is who you're arguing with. It's like the old the old meme about the Reddit thread where I spent my time arguing with this person and then I looked at their history and saw they post regularly on our piss about drinking their own urine. So it's like, are these the people we're arguing with? Then there is some other stuff where it's like learning the law here, more on the sort of right side of video games things. It would she billions must buy. I think this is partly in a jest, but 3 full months of Zero Suit Samus footage marketing before launch equals money, but they chose not to. I don't really think that fits either. It's always kind of been a reward for completing the game. The people probably loved Conquer. They probably did. This, like, some of the writers too, like, which, I mean, this does seem like female writing, to be honest. So this was a former writer, Megan Fausti, is writing for Prime 4. Apparently they got fired. Following the article published by the Mary Sue that Samus Aran was a transgender woman, which cited a potential transphobic statement by Hifumi Mazoka in 1994. I don't know who Hifumi Mazoka. I probably should have looked this up, but I'm sure Hirofumi. I assume it's probably someone that actually made a good Metroid game, rather than this woman. Let's see, Masuko. Someone with actual credits to it. Oh, a game designer. Started with Nintendo R&D. Worked on graphic design for various games. Yeah, so he is someone that actually has history with the Metroid series. And this is also the thing that pisses me off is so many of these people in modern gaming want to shit on the people that actually, made these games good, on the history of these people. And so he was a video game designer, started in R&D, worked on graphic design for various games, starting with Metroid. He was also the director of various games on the Mario Artist and Wario series, left Nintendo, joined Creatures Inc., much like Hirokazu Tanaka. Since then, he has been involved with some Pokemon side games and other titles. So someone that actually has some real credits to their name. Yeah, that's great. That's you made some statement I don't like in back in 1994. Yeah, we should make Samus a trans woman just to own you. Well, let's just ruin your franchise just to own you. Bousty tweeted support for this idea and personally that Samus is and will be transgender. These people are disgusting. The tweet was liked by the article's author, Brianna Wu, of course, but has since been deleted. So even they had to whoa, we had to remove it. And she did get fired, thankfully. She got fired for the exact reasons you think. Nintendo doesn't mess around with his IPs, which, I mean, good for Nintendo. It's this person clearly does not have the best interest of the franchise or the fans or anybody in mind when they say stuff like this. And I have no doubt they wanted to try and push it in this direction, or at least kind of code it that way. But a woman that actually is in the credits of Prime 4 is Tracy Nicoletti, writer, gamer, cartoon maker, currently on Invincible, Rolling Rascals, Prime 4, Thomas and Friends. Wow, what a great credits here. I'm not concerned about males transitioning to females. I'm concerned about Americans transitioning into Nazis. Oh, wow. I mean, just exactly what you'd expect out of these people about me. Storyteller gamer with a deep love of film, television, and animation. Probably zero life experience. This is how you get, characters like Armstrong, where it's has no idea how a soldier would actually act. No idea about that stuff. It's just oh, let's make her kind of like me, fun and quirky, and whoa, that'll be fun. Another mocap actor here. This was interesting. So she's one of the actors for Armstrong. What I found interesting is the Nintendo Retro Studios and this thing called the Help Network, connecting gamers and entertainment industry to vetted professional freelancers one job at a time, female and black owned. So much of the sort of wokeness that comes into these video games comes from writers, from voice actors, from all this stuff. You just put all these people into the project and let them influence these characters in subtle ways. It's just kind of a weird one. Female and black owned. Why would you even put this in your I guess it's exactly what it is, to signal to the sort of people that want to hire you that this is a good place to hire people. The DI is definitely not dead, if you were wondering. This was the gamer. I'm always going back and forth with who I hate more, the actual fans, these content creators that are just total simps for these games for no good reason, or journalists. And it's always hard because when the gamer's putting out articles that Baldur's Gate actress once intended to canonize popular fan theory that Samus is a badass trans bounty hunter. What do you even mean by trans? Like a man that transitioned to a woman, or a woman that transitioned to a man? I don't even know. But either way, it's awful. Why would you? They just want to ruin things because the people that they hate like that. Really, that's what it's about. I mean, Sam is sort of like one of the first and most popular female characters in video games. I guess isn't enough. We also need to make their trans too to solidify. I guess being a woman isn't special anymore. Now we gotta move on to the next thing. I'll end here on maybe like more of a lighthearted note of like the news surrounding it. That they're releasing some Metroid Prime merch. if you want to spend more money on it, you can get tumblers, you can get charging cases. The only thing I thought that was kind of cool is this pillow looks kind of neat. It's like an arm pillow. If you want to cuddle up with your arm cannon pillow, that's kind of cool. They have Metroid ice, or ice cube tray. Kind of neat. Get yourself some Metroid Prime merch. But enough of this. Enough of the news. It's time to actually play some games. Just another. It's amazing that nobody gives a shit. It seems like so much. A good, like maybe half of the video, maybe even more, half the population doesn't actually care about stuff like quality or gameplay. It's all about an experience. Just playing a game as content. Hey, new game out. Let's play and enjoy. You better enjoy it. Who cares what the writing? If the writing sucks, doesn't matter. Ooh, I get to choose my. Do I want 4K resolution or do I want perform? I would assume since my monitor is only 180p, I'll go with performance. I don't have a 4K monitor, so what's the point? But it's set to performance mode. Okay. This does not support 20 hertz. Okay, well, I don't care. Just let me play the game. Ooh, let's get in this. Oh, I gotta switch. Gotta switch over to the Switch. No signal. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Thing is, this doesn't seem to be working. What the issue is. Restart it. See if that works. Deactivate, reactivate. That's turned off. This isn't good. working on it. They all never wants to work when never wants to work when. Let's see. All of a sudden, they get to the thing. I was playing Air Ride last week. It was fine, but it managed to become unfine during during the week. I wanted to show this game to you guys. Why is it not working here? Why is it not working? Did something get plugged? Now I gotta search over this maze. Absolute labyrinth of stuff. See where the issue is. Plugs into that. This. This. Turn that on. Turn unplug and replug stuff in until I hope it works. Oop. It may not be plugged in. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Did I get them? Did something happen? Did I get them plugged somewhere? Seems to be working just fine. But why did this thing stop working all of a sudden? What the heck? What the heck? Hmm. Should be the computer. Why did this thing stop working? Don't get it. It'll be live. Live troubleshooting here. Oh shit. It's getting power. Splitter has power. Damn it. What could be the issue? Let's see if I can follow this. This. That is this. Plugged in to here. That's the input, right? That's HDMI in. In the in. So from the Nintendo, it's splitting properly. It's connected to it's connected to the device. No signal. What does that say? Can't read that. Cable secured input source devices on. It is. It's getting sound now. Let's put these back in. Connect those. It's on. I'm seeing it through the thing. What is the issue? Splitter's got power. Looks like my, I don't know, maybe my thing just conked out. Try plugging the HD. See if that works. Nope. Check. Secured to the right one. That's secured to the right one. It's going to the computer. Huh. A bit lost. I can't. Sorry, guys. I can't think of what else to do. I don't know if this thing finally conked out on me, or what. But it does not want to work. Huh, that's so annoying. Not, I kind of have to get it working if I want to capture any video on this thing. Switch it. Well, I guess we'll just call it here. Sorry about that, guys. I can't get this thing to work. I'll have to. Oops, I think I accidentally unplugged my mouse now too. Somehow. we'll have to end the stream here then. See you guys later. Hope you, I don't know how to end this. Since, I need to get my mouse working again.